Today's chore will be replacing the water filter in my whole house water filtration system. There's not a lot to it. It sounds more involved than what it really is, but the concept is that between the faucets, the toilets, the showers in the house, and the pump in the well, there's a filter that is designed to take out a lot of the sediment and potentially chemicals that are present in the groundwater. I have been getting my filters from filtersfast.com. They certainly make their label obvious. This time when I ordered, you don't get an email saying that they're sending anything. You get an email saying that they have received your order and that they will be shipping it soon. There was nothing telling me that the shipment was on its way. It did take about a week to 10 days to get here, which all of that's fine, no problems. Just it's always a little off-putting when you don't know if what you paid for is on its way or not. So not a lot involved with this unboxing. The filter comes with a lot of packing material, and then the filter. And so the happens to be that this time the filter that they sent me matches the brand of the filtration unit that I have. Previously, the one that they sent did not have, it was not the same matching company. The dimensions are correct for the unit. The only difference is the original filter that came had a washer at the top, an O-ring that set a little bit differently in the tank, but again, that's does not seem to affect the functionality of the product. So again, this is what we're looking at here. Just a little pleated filter that will go into the tank that stores the water before it heads into the system. So next step is to go take the old filter out. It's actually been in there for probably more than 6 months. These are rated, I believe, at 3-month interval changes. So the other one has been in there a lot longer than it should have been. I'm just lazy. Good thing is now, after this ordering process, I know it'll get here in about 10 days. It'll be hopefully easier for me in the future to convince myself it's time to reorder. So next step, go take the old filter out, put the new filter in. This is my system here. The lighting is poor in my basement, so I've got some sort of auxiliary lights that I've turned on here, but the video may still be poorly lit. This is the tank that the filter will stay in, and it's attached to this post in my basement. And you can see here is the inlet valve. This is coming from the tank here. This is sort of a settling tank that I've got that helps with the issues that you have with storing water coming up from a pump. And so the water comes in here, in through that valve and into this tank. The water is actually on the outside of the filter and works its way through the filter up into the center of the tank, and then comes in through this pipe running in this direction through that valve into the water heater, or in this direction through that valve up into the house. Now, last time I shut off this valve, the valve here, and the valve there, and as a result, when I also flushed and ran water out of the system so I wouldn't have anything to backflow. The problem with that was then everything sort of had to kick on again when the water was turned back on. You know that that's a problem if you have sediment in your line. You don't want that high pressure coming through all of a sudden. It tends to stir things up. So this time I will just be cutting off these switches, the valves, and not actually trying to run all the water out of the line. We'll see how that works out. And then the next thing that we've got is this garbage can here. Last time I tried to just run all of the just carry the tank here, the blue tank, out through the back door without spilling any, and that was water, and that was not as effective as it should have been. So this time I'll be just taking the tank off and then dumping it into the garbage can, and not trying to carry it out without spilling. First step will be to shut off all the valves. So we're going to turn off the water to the house, then the water to the hot water heater, and then the water to the tank. At this point, we're going to use our nice little wrench here to dislodge our water tank. There's a significant amount of stress on it apparently. Don't remember it being on that firmly in the past. Maybe I made a mistake when I put it on the last time. Alright, so now we got it broken loose. We're going to be real careful so it doesn't spill all over us. Support it underneath. Turn it just a little bit at a time. And already we've got water running out over the top. I'm going to stop using our wrench at this point and just use our hands to turn. Significant amount of sediment there around the inside of the tank, and there was a significant amount of sediment that was poured out in the water. This is my filter, and you can see between one filter and the other a significant amount of sediment that the filter has trapped. The garbage can was definitely a good idea. There was a lot more spillage this time, and also there's been more water dripping from the line than there was the last time. So having that garbage can in place to catch whatever might drop out was definitely a good idea. Also, it gives me a good place to put my empty packing material. So now we're just going to take and drop the filter down into the tank like that and reinstall it into the system. System is back together. A good hand tightening. Again, we don't want to overdo it. So first thing I'm going to do is run water back into the system, back into the tank, trying to keep as much air from getting into the upper lines as possible. So I'm going to open up the inlet valve. I don't know if you could hear that, but water has now filled the tank. I do not see any leaks, which is good. I'm still going to leave my garbage can in place for the rest of today, just in case we see any leaks after faucets have run and toilets have flushed. But at this point, it looks like our tank has matched up with what it's supposed to. So now I'm going to open the lines to the rest of the system. I'm going to go hot water first, just because of that back, and then turn the cold water back on. And again, we don't see any signs of leaks anywhere. And that's a filter change. Now I'll just go back upstairs and run some water and see what happens.